Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, world, and welcome back to yet another fun-filled episode here with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We appreciate in advance, and we know in advance a time will be had as we will embark upon what will be another great episode this morning. We thank you all for chopping it up with us, and we thank you in advance for a time that will be had. And so, yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left something, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back. And for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so, thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we converse about the latest sports topics that have taken place in this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in to participate with us every weekend. As a reminder, that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via our two Facebook pages, the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, as well as additionally on our Early Morning Sports Talk podcast Facebook page. On Instagram, you can find us as well at EMSTP underscore. Again, you can find us on IG at EMSTP underscore. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, Ian Jones, as well as our guest for that weekend, which includes our brother Don Shannon. Today is May the 24th of 2025, and we have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world. Well, we saw the NBA Eastern Conference Finals take place, and the Indiana Pacers take a 2-0 commanding lead going to the Garden and delivering one of the most fantastic finishes we've seen in sports history. Talk about special. And so the Indiana Pacers went in and stunned the New York Knicks after the New York Knicks came out in a street fight. And it just turned into one of the most memorable games to where at the end of the day, our brother Tyrese Halliburton, he did what was called a choke job to the Garden on the 30-year anniversary, gentlemen, of of the choke job. And so, what a fascinating series that has been, and especially the game one. Additionally, we will see the Oklahoma City Thunder and Jamar. He has been on point with this Oklahoma City Thunder team. They went through the gauntlet. They went through the Denver Nuggets. It was a lot of folks doubting, could it be possible that they would lose? And it looks like we will just talk about it. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have defied a lot of odds, and they're up 2-0 in the Western Conference Finals. And more eyes are now being looked at upon Anthony Edwards as well. On the other hand, we will see the NHL playoffs take place. The Edmonton Oilers, they would tie up the series last night, gentlemen, in the Western Conference Finals. They got a 3-0 win over the Dallas Stars. And then on the other side, the Eastern Conference, familiar foes, guys, the Florida Panthers has been champions, and they've had a dynasty going over there in Florida for a while. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals versus the Carolina Panthers. And then lastly, congratulations to the Northwestern Wildcats on the women's side who clinched the berth in the softball national championship. And this is the first time in their school history that they have done so. And so, with that being said, all right, introducing our guest for this morning, Mr. Don Shannon. Mr. Don Shannon is the winner of the Uncle of the Year award. Not one, not two, but 5 years straight, ladies and gentlemen. Our brother Don is the self-proclaimed king of backyard grilling for not one, not two, but 3 years in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Don Shannon, a.k.a. Uncle Doodoo, is a Los Angeles Lakers fan, but loves basketball and loves sports. And so with that being said, Mr. Don Shannon, good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast for the first time. How are you this morning, brother?
Hey, I'm great, bro. Ecstatic to be here. Appreciate the introduction. Hey, I'm excited, ready to go, man.
All right, fantastic. Yes, so we're going to get those tags going shortly. And so, gentlemen, as we always do, we have a line of order. Ian, good morning, brother. Good morning. Me and Ian, by the way, done. We played football at Morgan Park. It's like
Okay.
brother from way back when. And so, yes, pleasure to have you guys meet. And so, as we do the pecking order, we go with Jamar, and then we follow up with our guests. So, Jamar, my brother, Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. Let's start with the biggest storyline right now, which is the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, your thoughts, man, on these first two games, and additionally, your thoughts on what happened in Game One. Um, what the hell happened? Break it down, bro.
All right, to answer the latter question, what the hell happened in game one, Neesmith happened. And then Halliburton happened. And more so, look, the Indiana Pacers, they are a team that probably a lot of people feel like they have overachieved. But if you really like peel back the layers of how this team performs and plays, I mean, this is their second straight year in the Eastern Conference Finals. This
Right.
is a team that is coached by Rick Carlisle, who is a championship head coach. This is a team
Yep.
that last year at the trade deadline, if I'm not mistaken, they added Pascal Siakam to change the dynamic of the team. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this team runs a track meet, as you've been stating, Brandon, for the last several weeks. And they've been this way for at least the last 2 years. And as great as the New York Knicks have been in these playoffs, especially, beating Boston, with or without Jason Tatum, they came back, 20 plus down multiple times in that series. I mean, that roster was built to beat the Boston Celtics. With that being said,
Mm-hmm.
their style of play versus the Indiana Pacers style of play, it does not bode well if the Pacers keep running up and down the court like a track meet. It just doesn't work for them, and therefore you're seeing the results that has happened twice in the Garden so far. It's the fact that the pace of play is out of control. If the scores go, to my understanding, if the Pacers score, what is it, 120 points, their record, I don't know what the record is, but it's phenomenal. They they wear you out. No game is over. We saw that in game one, down 9 points with under a minute left, and here we are, choke job later with hand gestures and things like that. And what happened last night with Pascal Siakam having a playoff career high, um, it's telling. It's more so for me, more so about what the Pacers and their ability and their style of play and their coaching, as opposed to the New York Knicks. And if you look at it on paper, the Knicks probably have a more talented, better roster, but it's just the style of play. And we talked about it for years. Matchups matter, and yeah, I mean, this is what we're getting. I mean, the Pacers did their job by stealing home court advantage in game one. They did more than enough, to go into New York just like they did Cleveland. Stole two
Right.
there. So it's like, I mean, what more can you say about the Pacers? It's like they're making non-believers believers by every single game that they're playing. So here we are. The Pacers are 2 games away from the NBA Finals. I don't think anybody expected that to even happen when the season started. So here we are.
Wow. Yeah. Yep. So, Ian, my bro, top of the morning. Your thoughts?
I got three things. So I feel like I think I said this a couple weeks ago. I think the Pacers are playing with like house money. Nobody expected them to, you know, get to the Eastern Conference Finals or play the way that they playing. But like Jamar stated, this is their second time in the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, Tyrese Halliburton, he took you know, everybody saying that he's the most overrated player in the NBA. In my Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jordan voice, he took that personally. And me, I love it because if you call somebody overrated, or if you call me overrated, y'all better back it up and make me feel like I'm overrated.
Mm.
And
That's
the New York Knicks are not doing that. And I'm gonna go on record and say, if the Knicks lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, which I believe they are, Tom Thibodeau needs to be fired because Tom Thibodeau,
Mm.
he's not it. He's not it. And if he don't get it done with this, magnificent team, I don't think he'll ever get it done as a head coach. I mean, let's go back in history. This team almost reminds me of the Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose, number one in the East, or it's one of the top teams in the East, and he can't never get over the hump. So, and this team is way more talented than that Chicago Bulls team. You got Cat, uh, um,
Miles,
Jalen Brun, Jalen
you
Brunson, and
got
Miles
Bridges.
Bridges, and
I
OG.
mean,
yeah, man,
OG,
the list goes on and on.
Josh.
So you know, after after they end up beating Boston and all of that, I thought that they kind of slayed the Dragon and kind of they lost. Jason Tatum got hurt, so I felt like they kind of got off the hook, and I thought Boston would play a little better, but injuries happen, which is unfortunate. But man, they lose in the East Conference Finals like this, and it look like they about to get swept from the way that they've been playing and giving up leads late in the game. That's unacceptable. I feel like that comes down to coaching. And he needs to be fired, man. He'll go to the finals with this team, and Boston is at home. He needs to be fired, bro. This team is too talented, too good, and they need to go home. But that's not to take away from what the Pacers have done, man. The Pacers have, like Jamar said it,
That's what it
they
sounds
making
like you're
everybody
doing,
believe.
Ian. That's what it sounds like you're doing, Ian.
No,
You're
nope. I'm
taking
not
away
taking.
from the Pacers,
Nope,
which is
I'm
what
not
I've been
taking.
telling you for months.
I'm not taking away from the Pacers, man. They've been playing great basketball, and they've made everybody believers now. And I'm just not letting Tom Thibodeau off the hook, bro. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. He be playing. He do be. He was playing the Indiana places. He was playing the New York Knicks players in Game 6, y'all. He had Cat in. They was up by 40. Even uh, the head coach for Boston, Joe Mazzulla, he took his starters out. Done.
Yep.
Because after Jalen Brown fouled out, he knew the game was over, Jamar. Tom Thibodeau still had Cat in. He still had OG Anunoby in. The
Yeah.
crowd, ESPN, everybody was like, Tom, take him out. The game's over. It's
Right.
over. The series over. You need to prepare for Indiana. Are you not respecting them? Are you not?
Yeah.
Voila.
And if one of them get hurt, it's over for them. It really is. That can make or break them.
Right.
And before I get my analysis, I just want to say
No,
thanks
done.
to
It's on you, bro. It's on you.
yeah, I know. I just want to say thanks to the Pacers and the Knicks for giving us great basketball this whole playoffs on both sides. Like it's
Facts.
been tip top. I mean, this has been one of the best playoffs in a long time. And I just want to thank both franchises for that. I'm not originally a Pacers fan, but I mean they playing great basketball right now. So if you're a fan of good basketball, I mean I don't see how do you not love this or whatever. But let me just go into the analysis. Okay, Siakam played great. I mean Siakam played off the chain. He played out his mind, lights out, and that's what the Pacers need from him to kind of take that pressure off of Halliburton
Halliburton,
because you
yeah.
see they trying to, they gonna try to blitz him every chance they get. And shout out to Neesmith and Neimark for holding it down. Neesmith played like Steph Curry the other day. I mean,
Oh
I was
man.
about to turn the game off. He hit those 2 threes back to back. I said, hold on, let's see what's going on here. You know what
Done.
I'm
Done. I went to sleep.
saying?
I ain't gonna lie. Done,
Hey, he hit
Jamar,
those
and
two
I
back
went
to
to
back. I
sleep.
said, what?
I went to
But
sleep, bro. I thought it was over.
yeah, I woke my wife up. I was screaming loud in the mud. Dude was on fire, man. I couldn't believe it. That was one of the greatest endings, greatest, finishes I've ever seen in any game, regular season,
Facts.
playoff, or whatever. And it's getting kind of crazy because we almost getting to the point where we expecting the Pacers to come back. And,
Yeah.
that's one thing they got to watch too. Because once you build that confidence that you can always get back in the game, you still don't want to let the game get away from you too early, you know, because you don't always want to play from behind. But as far as yesterday, I mean, I felt like the Pacers really controlled. a lot of the game.
Yeah, they did.
Halliburton hit some big shots in moments. The three by Miles Turner was huge.
Mhm. Yeah.
TJ McConnell coming off the bench. This game was really run off the bench.
TJ
I mean, I
McConnell's so
believe,
underrated. He is so underrated.
yeah, he
Ain't he a
puts pressure on
shark?
the
Ain't he
defense,
a
man.
dog? Bro, every time he has the ball, Jamar, and he's attacking you.
Right,
It's not one time, it's every single time. You are under consistent pressure.
right. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
attacking every time, man.
Yeah, yeah. And so done. You given the analysis for the Pacers. Just a quick question.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
what happened with the Knicks in Game 1? And this is a question for you when we go to Jamar and Ian. What happened? How did they blow that lead? Could they have done some things better? Could they have made some free throws? I don't know what the hell they did.
I think it's what Hallie said, man. I think they choked. I think once some of them shots start going in, the crowd gets quiet, you know, that doubt starts to creep in the back of your mind. And I honestly think that's what happened. Because, I mean, there's no way you should blow a 14-point lead with 2 minutes to go. I mean,
Right,
on
but they
any
was up
level of
17,
basketball.
dog. They was up 17 with
Oh,
about 4
17.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, so
111-94.
yeah, so that's unacceptable. I mean, on any level of basketball. And like I said, I think they start thinking about what the Pacers been doing all playoffs, and it started to creep in their mind. But I don't want to take away from the Pacers because I feel like the Pacers stole that game more than the Knicks gave it away. I mean, it took a little bit of both, but I feel like it's about 60-40 the Pacers took it because, I mean, those shots that Neesmith hit, the shot that Nembhard hit in the corner, I mean, obviously the Kawhi / KD shot that Halliburton hit, to send it. I thought it was over, but to send it in the OT. So, I mean, they made timely plays. The OG Toppin dunk off the fast break should have been an
Yeah,
and
that was a
one.
nice dunk. And
Mhm.
the
Should have been
overtime,
an and
beautiful
one.
dunk.
Yeah, Obi, he's been coming in giving them good valuable minutes. He's playing good. So I mean, the Pacers look good right now, man. I mean, they look really good, and I like the way they're playing because you never know who's gonna have a big night. And I don't think they really care. I think it's really just about getting
Right.
that
That's what
W.
makes it so
And
beautiful.
yeah,
That's what makes it
Nothing
so
against the
it's
beautiful.
good
world.
to watch.
Yeah.
It's real nice to
And,
watch, man.
and so just to, hit on what you're saying, I've been on the Pacers bandwagon, and Jamar Enna tell you really since last year. It started in the championship of the in-season tournament when I began and I saw them beat Boston. I'm like, damn. And then they beat Milwaukee. I'm like, damn. Okay. All right. I like how they play. They play real fast, and I like this kid Halliburton. And then from there, when they got Pascal Siakam, I'm like, all right, they realize they got something here. I don't think he
Right.
went there for no reason. He went there for an intention. He saw what could have been, and he went there for a reason. And so, oddly enough, this morning, Victor Young, Chris Ford, Jonathan Abernathy, I told you, me and Jamar studied at Purdue, which is in Indiana. There's a lot of Indiana connection here. And so we happen to be talking about the Indiana Pacers right now. And these guys are big fans, Frank Knox's, etc.
Yeah. Jeremy
To go
Thomas,
off
shout out
some
Jeremy Thomas, man. He been rocking with the Pacers forever.
Yeah.
Bro been putting
big
on
time.
Facebook since I don't know when. So shout out to Jeremy Thomas, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know if Jeremy is tagged, but let me tag him because I generally tag him. And so let me make sure I tag Jeremy for sure. And so, like, all these Pacers fans, they are chiming in right now. And the truth is that the Pacers play basketball the right way. They are like a team where if you're in a boxing match, they're going to throw their jab first, and they're going to continue to throw their jabs. But it's not just one jab they can throw at you, aka one player, like the Knicks.
Right.
A lot of times, the Knicks, we know what they're going to do, Jamar. They're giving the ball to Jalen Brunson, and don't get me wrong, he's magnificent and he's clutch. He's the clutch player of the year. He getting his buckets all the time. but at some point he gonna miss. And when he missed, the Pacers come right back. Y'all can watch the footage, fellas. As soon as he missed, they come right down and shoot a three. Bang. I know that hurt. I know that hurts. It's like, damn. You don't have much room for error here. And that's what championship teams do. They put you under pressure. You're under attack. You're the one that's being attacked, and you got to respond. The only team I've really seen respond, I go back to last year, was the Celtics. But since then, really the Pacers, when they want to play, there's not many teams that can go toe-to-toe with them. And now we'll talk about the finals. If they go in the finals, that'll probably be the one team, and that's Jamar's team, that could go blow for blow with them. Like it's gonna be And from a basketball perspective, that's the best finals. That's the best finals. I know from a market perspective, the New York Knicks is what people want to see because it's New York, and that would be fantastic, fellas. Everybody want to see New York in the NBA Finals. But if we talk about the best team, it looks like it's the Indiana Pacers. And so Jonathan Abinant State, I ain't gonna flex. I ain't been with the Pacers since Reggie left. I'm a fan of players these days, not as much teams, but huge props to Victor Young. That MF went through the trenches with them. And so, yeah. And so, like you say as well, Victor, they usually have 5 to 7 guys in double figures. And that reminds me a lot of Oklahoma City. I really, from a basketball perspective, hope these two teams meet in the finals because that's gonna be a war, legit.
Yeah, that's gonna be a heavyweight fight right there. They gonna be throwing haymakers. Definitely.
They finna throw haymakers all day, all night. It's finna be.
And they both trying to get up and down the court, so it's gonna be a fast-paced, high-scoring game. It's gonna be fun to watch. But I still think the Wolves are gonna get there. But we'll talk about that later.
Okay. All right, man. All right. And we can actually. So Callie, Sean O'Malley, Thunder in 5. And so let's talk about the Thunder. Let's talk about the Thunder because Chris Ford is a big Thunder fan. He's a Pacers fan, but he's a Thunder fan. And so this could be like a dream matchup for our boy Chris Ford. Because Chris Ford, he loved the Thunder. We know that on the Early Morning Sports. He talk about them all the time. And he loves him some Pacers too. He got his teams. He talks about them all the time. And so speaking of the Thunder, you mentioned that the Wolves, bro. You think the Wolves gonna come back. And so tell us why you think the Wolves gonna come back. Because I don't know where the hell Anthony Edwards been these first 2 games in. I don't know where he been, bro.
Oh man.
Go ahead, Don. We listening to you. Go ahead, Don. Tell us why.
You want me to,
Yeah. And,
I mean, look,
shout
outs to Shea, the MVP. Shout out to the Thunder, number 1 team in the league this year, I believe. So I just got faith in Ant-Man, bro, and I'm just not counting him out yet. He hasn't been playing well. I think he will change that. A series really ain't a series until a team loses at home. So if the Wolves go home and protect home court, they right back in this, and it's a new series. So then it's a best of 3 after that. But I don't know. I just got faith in Ant, and I just think it's something special going on here. He's 23 years old. He's proven that he has that hunger, but now he gotta, that hunger's gotta manifest itself on that court, and he's got to play better. He's got to be bigger than that. There's no way Julius Randle gonna carry them to the promised land. So Ant gonna have to do it, but I think they could pull it out, man. I think OKC is still young. The Wolves are young, but they were there last year, so they got a little more experience. And I think if they can punch them in game 3 in the mouth and put a little doubt in OKC head about game 4, and then if the Wolves can pull out game 4, I think the pressure's on OKC. And then that's when I think some of that inexperience might kick in.
Wow. And you use that word inexperience. And so, Jamar, going with you, bro, you have been on this Thunder bandwagon. And Jamar, everybody in the world, including me, has been using that word like the inexperience. Youth, are they ready? Are they ready? Are they ready? Ian could tell you, bro, I was dogging the Thunder last week. And I was dogging them 2 weeks ago because they were down both of the times. And I'm like, are they really going to pull this out with the inexperience? And
Now
it
here
just
we are.
seems like, right. And it just seems like they are growing up. Right. I mean, when I say literally right before our eyes done, right before our eyes. And so
Yeah, they're playing well. They're playing good, man. They playing really good. But
they beating the hell out of the Wolves.
yeah, I had the Wolves before the series starts, so I'm going down with the ship.
I respect it.
And so Jamar, bro, but tell us why you been on this Thunder bandwagon, bro.
I mean, the whole year, Head and Shoulders has been the best team in a gauntlet of a conference. That's my first reason. Um, Second, they went through some painful adversity last year, knowing that they should have beat Dallas in that series. They let that one slip. And heck, at this point, I'm even more confident because they beat Denver, and it was how they did it. Because at one point it was looking like the same old Thunder. Because had they lost that series, they wouldn't have heard the end of it. You would have been, hearing clamors of, Shea needs a second star. This team's too experienced. They can't get it done. Jalen Williams can't do this. Chet Holmgren too skinny. Like, it would have been a bunch of different narratives across the board. But it was how they beat Denver. They came back in that series. They dismantled and embarrassed the Nuggets in Game 7. And Jalen Williams grew up in that game. He showed up. And that's what they really need in order to really, like, finish this thing off. Now against the Timberwolves, like, I was looking forward to this series because I want to see Ant versus Shea. That's the matchup I really want to see. And yeah, like, Ant really has to show up. Like, I get it. Like, in the past couple series, Ant didn't really have to, like, go out and score 40 a game every single game because everybody else been contributing. But I feel like in order for the Timberwolves to have a chance, like, Ant has to assert himself early and often, and it would probably create more opportunities for everybody else. Because otherwise, the way the Thunder is set up and the way that their matchup against them, defensively and offensively, is like, it feels like they are a step or two ahead of the Timberwolves every single time. And we know that the Twitter public and the social media public have called SGA the free throw merchant. Now, I neither agree or disagree with that, but I do know he gets to the line very often. And so, going against that doesn't help either. So it's like, when you have him playing well, and then when you get, like, players like J-Dub and Chet doing things, and then, Dort coming off and just doing what it's
Right.
they can throw a number of different players at you, and it's kind of like similar to the Pacers in a sense, where they can just continuously throw people at you. And then at that point, if it gets to that point to where they're up double digits, close to 20, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. That's why Ant has to assert himself early and often. Like, Ant has to be the one to draw fouls and get them in foul trouble. Basically, he has to reverse what the Thunder are doing. Otherwise, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Wow. And so I got a lot to say about the Thunder too, man. But Ian, I'm gonna let you go first, bro. Go ahead. What's your thoughts, man, with this finals?
The MVP is showing you why he's the MVP, basically. I mean,
yeah.
And the number one team in the West is, like Jamar stated, they play in that gauntlet. They're showing you why they're the number one team. That we are watching them grow up. I think in both series, I think Game 3 is the biggest game in the series. And Anthony Edwards, if this is the time where he want to be great and he wants to take that next step and go to that next level, and with all the comparisons or similarities to Michael Jordan and all of that, if he wants to well, I know his favorite player is Kevin Durant. You know, if he wants to be on those guys' level, this is the time for him to step up. We need to see that Anthony Edwards. You know, that explosive, that dog. We need to see that right now because y'all on the verge of getting swept. What happened to the Julius Randle that was scoring 20, 25 and 10 and 20 and 10? You can't have a game like last game, not in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think he went for two for 12, 2 for 11 or something similar to that. You can't have
Mm-hmm.
no game
Yeah,
like you
he
can't
got
have no
benched
game
too.
like that. Yeah, you can't have no game like that
At
now.
all.
This is the wrong time. He been balling all playoffs. I've been shocked. I'm not even a big Julius Randle fan. I'm like, man, I gotta give it up to him, man. He been balling, he been showing up. Nas Reed, y'all gotta come show up, and Anthony Edwards as well. Y'all gotta come show up. They don't get y'all that sweat. These boys they ain't playing. They're young, you know, and I feel like we watching them grow up right in front of our eyes. So I mean, Minnesota, man, they better come with it. Now, I do think even to go back to the last series, I do think both teams is going home. I do think they're gonna show up. It's just I don't get the job done because you know these two game threes are big, and we gonna see who really won it in these game threes. We definitely gonna see who really won it.
Right. Game 3 tonight, y'all. Thunder and Timberwolves out in Minnesota. Now, one thing
Hey,
we can say, fellas,
you
and I'll
mind if
let
I
you.
touch two topics? I mean, you mind if I make 2 points before we leave from that topic?
No,
Yeah,
we
go
on
ahead.
the topic. We definitely on the
Oh, okay.
topic, bro. Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, I ain't mean to cut you off. Um, as far as the foul merchant stuff, I mean, does he get some questionable calls? Yeah, I mean, if you watch basketball, that's obvious, you know. But at the same time, that's part of the game. So, you know, you can't let that get you out of rhythm or out of character, basically. And you still got to play basketball, and you got to figure out a way to stop it. I mean, because he's not going to stop doing it. So you got to figure out a counter. And if not, then I mean, you can't really, you know, cry and whine about it too much because it's part of the game. And then to
Right.
my other point, as far as Ant, yeah, Ant definitely got to play better, you know. Um, but as far as like putting himself on that level with these other superstars and all that, even if he loses this year, I don't think it's that bad because Ant's been so good. We forget Ant is only 23. You know, a lot of these
Yeah,
guys is 27, 28, you know, 29. They up there. Ant's only 23. So he's
true.
still, you know, he's still
Lot of
outperforming
room.
his age, you know. So
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
and a lot of those superstars took off around that 25, 20, you know, 26 range. I mean, Luka made it to the finals last year. He was 25.
Yeah.
So I think Ant will still have about 2 more years on the clock before people really start saying, all right, okay, the Michael Jordan comparisons is enough. You know, we need some hardware on them on the fingers. You know what I'm saying? Before we make those comparisons. But I just want to touch base on that. Yeah, man, he's still young. He's only 23. Sky's the limit.
Yeah. It's a process
Mm,
for sure.
right, but for me, I'm with y'all. No, I understand it's a process done, but damn it, he's the guy that will tell you he want the smoke. If we talk to
Yeah,
Anthony
yeah.
Edwards right now,
Oh,
if
hey, if you
all
talk it, you
four of
gotta
us talk
walk it.
to him,
Yep.
he would
If
tell
you
you
talk it,
right
you
in your
gotta walk it.
face, like he told Barack Obama right in his face, "I want
Yeah,
the smoke. I ain't running from shit." He told the president that.
yeah,
He
Yep.
you
talked to
right.
him just like
For
he
sure.
talked to him
Hey,
just
shit,
like a
you
nigga
right.
Ian from Ian. He talked to the president Ian just like a nigga from 79.
Right.
Like
For sure.
literally, Don and Jamar. He talked to the president just like a nigga from Gary, Indiana, East Chicago.
Yeah, so
Literally.
ask
And you
these
know
boys, they
what?
know.
And that's why we love him. And
Yep.
that's why you love him. That's why you love him. That
He's
confidence and he got
authentic.
that dog in him. Yeah.
Right.
There's no
Right.
But
phony
hey,
about him. He
but
just he himself.
but the thing is, if you keep talking it without walking it, eventually it's gonna turn into put up or shut up.
Yeah, for
You
Exactly.
sure.
know.
And
Yeah.
that's where we
So
at. That's where we at. I'm at the point to where yes,
two
we've been
years.
to the conference finals before. This 2 years in a row, dog. You can't get swept in the second conference final. I could see Ian and Jamar if he lose one game. maybe he go down fighting a little bit, but if he go down 4-0, like no, that's not a good look. That's not a good look, man. Yeah, you be done built your resume because you be done took down some giants. You took down LeBron. Steph might not count because he was injured, but you done took down some big names. But you got to get over that hump at this point. And so him getting swept, that would be like, you really would have to prove something after that because it's going to be big pressure on him, especially if he don't do something in his conference finals. He did nothing. Now, I just want to quickly, Jamar, talk about the Thunder. The Thunder are piranhas on defense, ain't they, bro? They are dogs. And that's the difference between them and Indiana. Indiana could throw guys at you, right? They can throw a lot of guys at you, a lot of double-figure guys. The Thunder can do that too, plus they can defend. And one thing they've done with Julius Randle, bro, is that they've made Julius Randle go to his right. And everybody in their mama know a player that go left can't go right. And so that's what the Thunder have been doing. And they just hand check, slap the ball, activity, make them just dribble the ball a little bit more. And that's just great defense, man. Alex Caruso, them guys don't get enough credit, man. Lou Dort and those guys. Jalen Williams, SGA is one of the best defenders in the league, Jamar. Low key. I know they don't talk about this man being a great defender, but he's a fantastic defender. And one thing I've also noticed about the Thunder is this, Jamar. Chet Holmgren, he's had his ass down low. He ain't been shooting as many threes. Y'all see how many dunks he get now? How many layups he get? He is not going out there. Right, exactly, He ain't trying to be some, just shooting threes all day. Now he down there and he banging. You can hear him. You know how when y'all hoop and you be down low and you be like, when you down low, I'm like, okay, Jamar, he down low, I'm like, okay, he getting some dog in him now. And him doing that bring a whole nother dimension to the Thunder, a whole nother dimension. And so going with the comments though, Frank nicely stated Timberwolves got to go one game at a time. They definitely do, Frank. They could still make this a series, but if they go to sleep on game 3, they not waking up until next season. Okay.
And then, I feel like that's the thing for both teams.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
So are you saying, Ian, that this game 3, whoever win this going to win the series?
In my opinion, they got a big chance to win. Whoever wins game 3 in both series, but they both down 2-0. Game 3 is going to be the biggest game in both series, like I said. But on the teams that's down 2-0, the series is not over. Like you said, they just got to take it one game at a time. So I mean, the series ain't over. It's just got to go back and Now on the Knicks hand, it might be a little bit harder because y'all lost both games at home. And I feel like games at home in the Mecca, like that's tough. So now y'all got to go to Indiana. They ain't gonna show you no mercy. So they're gonna
be loud as hell in that stadium. They are loud in there.
It's a wrap for the Knicks. I don't see it.
Yeah. So,
dude, it's more so about. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ian.
Honestly, so I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Honestly, I'm not a fan of I don't have a favorite team that's in the conference finals. I would like to, from a fan's perspective of just basketball and the sport, I would like to see the Knicks go to the finals for one reason, because it's the Mecca of basketball. Just seeing that atmosphere in the finals, everybody it seemed like when the crowd get hyped, everybody just standing up and they're like over you. It looked like y'all at the park. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
Just like in these last couple games with the Pacers, man, that atmosphere is something. It's special, you know what I'm saying. So I would like to see that in the finals, but I mean, I kind of compare the Knicks to the Dallas Cowboys. The Knicks gonna find a way to nick. And they doing it
Man.
right now. They
Yeah,
doing it
bro,
right
that's a
now, bro.
real done. That's a real because I agree with you. That is a
They
a
doing it.
real.
They
I
doing it
don't know.
right
And
now,
let
bro.
me ask you, bro, do you feel like it's too much pressure on the Knicks being that they're in New York? Like it seemed like it's a lot of pressure for them. And when they at home, they play better on the road, y'all, low key than they do at home. They
Yeah, I
do.
mean,
Look
yeah,
at the
I
record.
mean, yeah. I mean, that's a great point.
And I ain't
But
trying to hear
I
that.
just, but I
They do
just,
though, Jamar. They do, really.
I just feel
No,
like the Knicks just gonna find a way to fuck it up, and Tibbs, I don't know, man. Tibbs, he can't lose in the East Coast Finals with this team, and they not playing Boston and defending champs. I'm sorry, they lose to the Pacers, and I ain't taking nothing away from the Pacers, but with this team that he got in New York, it was NBA Finals or bust. Because like y'all said, they was made to beat the Celtics.
And
Y'all
once
slayed the
they got
Dragon.
past the Celtics, right? Once you slay the dragon, then you should be on your way. I see your
Handle
point
your
on that.
business. And it's not to say that the Pacers is a slouch, but come on, man, y'all beat the NBA champions, bro. Y'all got to handle business now. Y'all got to bring it home. They've been crying and complaining about Knicks tape for the last 20 years. They've been to the finals in 20 years, 25 years, bro. It's y'all
25, yeah.
time. Y'all can't lose.
look,
Y'all can't lose it now.
no, let me step in real quick
Go
here.
go go ahead go ahead
Ian.
go ahead go ahead go
All
ahead,
right,
bro.
so Ian, you definitely was on record against the Celtics. You was like, no, actually before the Celtics, like when the playoffs started, you was like, the Knicks have to at least go to the Eastern Conference Finals or Tibbs get fired. And we was talking about how they built the roster for the Celtics, and like, it was a little hesitation, but yeah, okay. And then they actually did it. So now you're still calling for Tibbs' job, even if they lose to the Pacers. And I get it. On paper, the Knicks are a better roster than the Pacers. Like they got bigger names, better roster. They got more talent on that team. It's about matchups. We know this. The Pacers are a terrible matchup for the Knicks. Terrible. The Pacers control the tone. Pacers gonna win the game. Pacers have been starting to track meet every game, and you think that's gonna slow down in Indiana? No. That's why it's a wrap. Unless for whatever reason, if Jalen Brunson turned into Shea Gilgeous-Alexander against the free throw line like 20 times, it's a wrap. Like the Knicks have to slow the game down, and I don't see it just based on every time they get a bucket, you turn around 2 seconds later, like Obi Toppin or Pascal Siakam got a fast break layup on the other
Running
end
down
when
the
they
court
inbound the
fast break
ball,
layup every time. Every time.
or McConnell comes in and he gets the ball at the inbound, and 3 seconds later he's laying it up, going through like their play, they just not fast enough for the Pacers.
Yeah.
So yeah, granted, like on paper, yeah, they probably should go to the finals. And yeah, I mean, me personally, I would love to see New York in the finals. I mean, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So, but it's not going to happen just based on the style of play. It's just not. So those reservations that you have in your head about the Knicks and Tibbs, like you just put that to the side. They slayed the Dragon. They just gonna lose to Shrek. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know, man.
Ian, bro. I see you see I see you I see you see the comment, man.
That was a
By
good one.
Frank
That was a
Knox.
good one, bro.
He say, Ian, my man, and Knicks are cooked and fried and burned like a well done steak. It's over.
Oh, honestly,
It's
I technically the series ain't over, but I do think they cook. Me personally, I don't believe in Tibbs. I haven't believed in
well,
him in a while.
right.
I
I
think
This
think
you
is
have
the
a
it's
grudge
a
closest.
good
against Tibbs
question.
since the Bulls.
Yeah,
It,
cause he ran
it's the
down our
same thing
damn
over and
teams.
over again.
He
It's the
ran
same
down
thing
our
over and over
teams
again.
in the Bulls. He damn sure ran down our teams and made them injury prone. A lot of people believe that Tibbs was the reason why Derrick Rose got injured. That's what some people
I mean,
speculate in Chicago. Some people
Yeah, I
say
mean,
that due to all the
I,
practice, due to all the volume, all the moments where they up against these teams and
I
Rose still
I get
playing,
it,
it's
Go
like
ahead, Jamar.
but I
I'm
get it,
just saying
but
some people have speculated that. I'm not
right,
saying
right. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's easy to point the finger just at that because he always keeps them out on the court every single time. But I mean, there's
yeah,
a lot of
injuries
things
happen.
to that. There's a lot of pieces to the pie for that one. I mean, look at the draw. I mean, Derrick Rose wasn't the most I mean, he was one of the most reckless players at the time too. Just his style of play didn't, that could have factored into it. I mean, it's just a freak accident. I mean, it's a lot of different things that could have went into that. I mean, granted, should he have been out there at the time he got hurt? Probably not, but it could have happened in the first quarter. Would we be saying the same narrative about Tibbs? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because I know
I
Joe
mean,
Kim, Taj Gibson, they was all on the record about Tibbs.
to
But go
Tibbs'
ahead.
credit, though, I think Tibbs is a great coach.
Yeah.
And his record has proven it. I mean, every franchise he's put his hands on has, succeeded in some way. They were better than they
went to the
were
playoffs.
before he got there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No
He
doubt.
took it
So
three teams.
to his
Yeah.
credit on that. And then also, am I a fan of him playing his starters 40 minutes and all that and having them in meaningless minutes? No, but at the same time, he really has never had much to work with, and hear me out first. He's had
I'm with
some
you.
nice pieces, but he hasn't had a complete team to where he
He's never
can
had
give
a
those
super
guys
team
that
either.
rest. Yeah, he's kind
never had that
of
either.
yeah, he's doing what he can with what he got. And in order to get the best production out of what he got, he could only put certain guys on the floor. And I think that's been the situation like in Chicago, in Minnesota, and in New York. I mean, you had a couple good guys like Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler, but everybody else was just like, they wasn't that. And Jimmy wasn't even Jimmy yet. So,
Right.
and then in Minnesota, you had Jimmy when he was Jimmy, but then, Cat and Wiggins, they were young.
Wiggins.
You know what I'm saying? So he's never really had a team where he's expected to win. Like he's never been the favorite. He's always had that team that grind out of nowhere, and now they here. You know what I'm saying?
That's a really good point about Tibbs. That's a very, very good point about Tibbs.
I think this is probably, and I think this is why I made that comment. I think this is his most complete team he's had since he's been a head coach.
This is the best team he's had for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
for
see
sure.
that better than the
Complete
Bulls.
team.
Yeah, because it was just D Rose. That was it.
Yeah, and
this
D
probably
Rose
the
was
most
young.
complete
He was a
team.
baby
Yeah.
then, so
Right.
Yeah.
And so me though, I the one thing I just disagree with guys is that the Knicks got a better roster. I don't know about that because when I look at the Pacers, they got about 6-7 guys that's in double figures. They don't have big names because they're not in New York. That's
Right.
just the difference. But they got
I would
guys.
say the Knicks might not have a better roster, but they might have a better starting five.
Yeah, I could say that. Yes, but an overall roster from top to bottom, no, it's the Pacers. But yes, with the starting five, yes, it's the Knicks, of course. But from an overall roster perspective, no, it's the Pacers. And so, with that being said, fellas, man, do we got any more comments about the NBA playoffs? Because it's been a
I
lot.
just got one question to all y'all.
I got a question too. Go ahead though. Go ahead, bro.
If they do fire Tibbs, who we replace him with?
That's a good
Well,
question.
Ian, answer that one.
That's a hell of a question.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Man, I really
Who?
have to see it.
Mike Malone.
That's not
That
bad.
would be a bit.
That's
would be
not bad.
That's
Yeah.
not bad.
That's not bad. Who was the other coach that was?
I would say Mark Jackson, a New
Mark
Yorker,
Jackson.
St.
That would
I
John's.
like that one. New York,
That'd be
St. John's.
lovely.
I like that
That
one.
would be great, but I mean, I don't know why he's been blackballed for whatever reason. That's another conversation. But
Right,
yeah, that would
That's-
Right.
that would be great with so much
I'm
with
all
so
for
much
that.
history there. Yeah.
Right. But and before we get into your comments, Stephen A. Smith, is he a potential fit? I mean, a lot of guys from ESPN getting jobs these
What?
days.
Stephen A. Who?
Stephen A. Smith. I mean, he a big New York
Oh.
Knicks fan from New
No.
York. He repped the Knicks.
Nah,
He's never coached before. No.
man. No, those celebrity games don't count, though.
Right.
Right.
All right, that's a joke. But I definitely like that Mark Jackson, man. That's a very interesting one.
Yeah.
And Mike Malone is a very interesting one too. And then also consider the other head coach that was, but Jenkins, he might get a job too. He out there too now. So with that being said, though, Ian, what's your question, bro? Wait, what's your comment?
Who would y'all like to see in the finals out of these four? Out of the final four?
And so for me to start, I would like to see the Pacers and Thunder from a basketball perspective. That's what, and I stated that prior to. from a basketball perspective, that's basketball heaven, in my opinion.
I would say, like, before the series started, like from a storyline perspective, I wanted to see the Knicks and the Timberwolves from a storyline perspective, because they would have had a lot of
Yeah.
lines with that. But now, I mean, I personally, I don't really have a preference. I'm enjoying basketball. This is like a breath of fresh air. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
So I personally don't care.
I feel it.
Don, what about you, bro?
I'm gonna go Wolves Pacers. Yeah, I'm gonna go Wolves Pacers. I got
That'd be pretty fun
connections to
too.
both, so yeah, I'm rooting for both.
And what about you, Ian?
I think before, like Jamar stated, Ant is one of my favorite players as of right now. And like I just said, I don't even care if the Knicks win or lose, but seeing them in the finals again in that atmosphere, I would like to see that. But
Yeah.
as of right now, I love what Halliburton is doing. I love when guys are the underdog and they prove somebody wrong. That's pretty dope to me. So um
Yeah.
I know OKC is playing great. They playing great. And I do think they probably gonna end up going to the finals, but I probably would say as of right now, I probably would say the Pacers and the Wolves. I probably say the Pacers and the Wolves.
Yeah.
Well, we still it's they still got to play, so we gonna see within start tonight. We gonna see with these next couple games, man, what's gonna happen.
Right.
Shout out to the small markets.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
Definitely.
right? Shout out to the small markets, man. Definitely interrupting all type of New York plans and big market. Everybody want to see that Knicks and Wolves, and I can totally understand. And so we're gonna see, fellas. These series are not over. These series are not over. There's a lot of
For the next
basketball to be
round.
played. And so Frank Knox State, I would say any of the 4 teams making the finals is great for the NBA. All the stars are young, mostly small towns apart from the Knicks. Obviously, it's going to be Thunder versus the Pacers. Welcome to the party. And with that being said, Chris Ford also stated Thunder in 5. All right. So, gentlemen, we have to pivot now. We have talked the NBA playoffs. But now, gentlemen, I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity, but we're going to talk Chicago Bears 2025 schedule. I know you're a big basketball fan here, Don, but I know you watching football. I know you do, especially being on the page. You see us talking a lot of football, etc. And so this mostly related to the football experts here, Ian and Jamar. And so, curious gentlemen, this is the Chicago Bears schedule. We start our preseason August 10th. And then we began our season actually on Monday night this year at home against the Minnesota Vikings. From there, we go to Detroit. Big test. We got a tough test these first 3 weeks. Then from there, Dallas. Then at Vegas. Then at Washington. Little hard schedule there.
at Washington again.
At Washington
Yeah.
again, bro. Monday night. They
That's
put it on
rare.
Monday night on purpose. They did that
But
on
you know
purpose,
what?
Don.
They got they the number 1 and number 2 picks, but
Right.
damn, they couldn't get a home game this time. I guess not.
Right. Interesting, right? Back at Washington. Then from there, New Orleans at home, at Baltimore, at Cincy. It's gonna be tough because these are a lot of road games starting off the season.
At Philly,
Um,
at the champs.
Yeah, at Green Bay. Now we got New York at home, at Minnesota, Pittsburgh
Play
at
Lamar.
we got Green Bay on the road. We got Cleveland at home, Green Bay at home, San Francisco on the road, and then Detroit
They
at
just
home.
went to San Francisco. Didn't they go to San Francisco last year and get whooped? Yeah,
Yep,
it was
they
like a
did.
4
Yeah.
o'clock. 4 o'clock game.
It was like
Damn.
28-0 in the first quarter, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were getting. But I don't think that. I think that was 2 years ago, gentlemen. I think that was when Justin Fields was playing, right?
No, that was with Caleb.
No, no, we beat San Fran week one when Justin was here.
Yeah, in
That's
the
when Trey
rain.
Lance was playing. But last
Yeah.
year we
Okay.
went we
Yeah.
we went to the Bay and got smacked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember now. I remember now. I remember now. And so, Jamar, bro, since you're speaking on the Bears, um, your thoughts here. We can later go into the records, etc. But we can do that maybe later on towards the season. But just your thoughts, man, with the schedule.
All right, hold on. I mean, look, I mean the Bears has the second hardest schedule entering the year based on the team's, winning percentage from last year.
Mm.
Um, I mean, it look, the schedule is the schedule. There ain't nothing we can do about that. But I did have a win loss. I can't even pull it up right now. But when I went through it the first time, I do have us winning 10 games. Hear me out. I know about the blowback on that. Um, and for whatever reason, I'm trying to pull up the schedule on my end because I can't really see it. I can see it, but I can't see it. So give me a
Oh,
second. That's
okay.
because I'm on my phone and not my computer today. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So hold on. Come on, come on, come
10
Man,
games.
10 games. Wow.
on. Hear
And
me out.
so, yeah. Wow. 10
Okay. All
games.
right. I
That's
think I'm good. Yep. All right. So like the Monday night game against Minnesota, I feel like we win that. Like me personally, I mean, I'm not. I don't know what JJ McCarthy is. Like I don't think any of us do. So lights are bright. Whole nation watching. I have more confidence in an actual head coach that that's actually demanding the best out of players right now in OTAs and a whole coaching staff that actually knows how to coach these days, as opposed to the BS we had last year. And I think that's my biggest point. Like you cannot compare last year to this year. I know it's easy because recency bias, but it's a completely different slate. It's completely
Yeah.
different people and personnel that's running this team. That's the main point. That's the main reason why I have more, I guess, faith per se than probably a lot of people with the schedule, and I probably will be betting over on a win loss total. I think it's 8.5. I'm taking over. So I got them, beating the Vikings, the Lions. I got them losing that. I got us beating the Cowboys. Got us beating the Raiders. Heck, I even got us beating the Commanders,
Mm.
and that's the one. That's the one that I feel like that's gonna uh, sway a lot of people at that point. Because remind you, like the Bears actually outplayed the Commanders last night. They beat the Commanders as opposed to the last play of the game. They beat them. But we talked about that so much. Keep it moving. The Saints, like if we don't smack the Saints, they have probably the worst quarterback room in the whole NFL. Like,
right. 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 Mm-hmm. They
and I got us
definitely
losing to the Ravens and the Bengals. Got us beating the Giants. I don't even know what to expect there. Got us losing to the Vikings. I give them some courtesy on that. I got us beating the Steelers at home.
Mm.
And I get if it was in Pittsburgh, I feel a completely different way. But for one, I don't know who the quarterback is. Two,
They don't know who the quarterback is.
yeah, they don't even damn know.
right. Three, I feel like by that point, maybe our team should be, a little bit more um, engraved in what, Ben Johnson is trying to do here. And this team should be, in theory, should be rolling a little bit on the offensive end. I ain't saying we putting up 30 points a game like, somebody on this panel here last year saying we need to drop 30 points every single game. No. But um, but no, I think we beat the Steelers. The Eagles we probably lose. Packers, I say we split that. We should beat the Browns. I don't know who's the Browns quarterback is, but I would say if they have anybody with a peace of mind, I would think it'd be Shador out there starting as opposed to everybody else. But we'll see. Niners, we probably lose. I think we beat the Lions. I think we split the division all the way whole, and I think we win some games that probably a lot of people think that we shouldn't win. And last year we lost games that we should have won. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah. And bro, any thoughts on the schedule? Any thoughts on the record? Anything you got to say about the Bears 2025 schedule?
Tough schedule, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
tough schedule.
personally, I don't like some of the matchups. Like, why do they have to go to San Francisco again? And why do they have to go to Washington again? We just went there last year. Why they can't come to us? But nevertheless, they should. I see them winning, about 9 games maybe. Um, and they could be a surprise team too. So they can win a couple more games than that. It just all depends on how they buy into Ben Johnson's philosophy and how the defense comes together, health, and how Caleb develops, how they develop Caleb. So I'm excited to see what they do, but I just don't like some of the matchups. It's crazy. Like, why do they have to go back to Washington again? I mean, I get why they playing Washington again because of him and Jaden Daniels, number one, number two pick, and they're gonna be linked, while they're in the NFL or whatnot. But that kind of sucks. Um, yeah, I mean they should win a couple games. And they got to go to Philly too. God damn,
Yeah,
they got a tough schedule, man. But this, I mean,
yeah.
Ben Johnson look
I'm
like
with
he's
you.
he's gonna be the one to change the culture. So we definitely gonna see with this good. This is a tough schedule for sure.
Definitely,
It's a
definitely,
tough
definitely.
schedule. I'll say this: it's a tough schedule on paper. Some of these teams that we think, like the Eagles could have a bad year. They just won a Super Bowl last year. They could have a bad year.
Bingo.
Um, Washington could have a bad year. Injuries happen, and I'm not hoping nobody gets injured or nothing like that. But that is the name of the game. Injuries happen. Detroit cannot be good. Minnesota cannot be good. So, like you said, we don't know what JJ McCarthy is. The Saints could be good, and we think they got the worst quarterback room in the league, and they can end up being the top of their division. So, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Right.
But on paper, from last year's results and the draft and everything, they do have a tough schedule. But I do think they win like probably 9, the max to 11 games. I feel like they should.
Right. Yeah. For me, I'm near the ballpark of you guys, but the max is 9. But for me, realistically, I say based off of the Bears, based off of history, and based off of the schedule. And I'm not trying to throw in history here. God rest the soul of Virginia, y'all. As we know, Virginia moved on. She was mocked a lot, Don, by a lot of Bears fans because they always stated that the old lady in the booth was the problem. And so the old lady has moved on. God rest her soul. We got a new head coach now. But this schedule is brutal. And I don't know if the Bears could make the playoffs with this schedule. I'm thinking 7-10. I would love to be wrong, but based off of them putting them at Washington, them playing Baltimore, them playing at Cincinnati, playing at Philly, that's brutal. Playing at Green Bay, playing at San Francisco, playing at Detroit. That's 6 tough road games, gentlemen. That's 6 very tough road games. And not even to mention if Aaron Rodgers go to the Steelers, that makes it even tougher. And so I think the Bears would play hard. And I'm not even gonna sleep against Dallas, man, because Dallas just made some moves too. I mean, they did just pick up one of the best receivers. I mean, he's a crybaby, but I mean, damn it, I
Talent-wise.
went on the record, right? Talent wise, I think this kid is special. I mean, I went on the
Yes.
page saying he was the best receiver in the NFL. I was a little wrong, but Deshaun and everybody was like, "Nah, he ain't the best receiver." But I was a little crazy for the moment. But he's a talented receiver, and then you put him along with CeeDee
CeeDee
Lamb
Lamb.
already, right? So they got weapons in Dallas, gentlemen. So I don't know if the Bears, it's gonna be tough, man. And that's an early season game. I could see if that was January done, and they got to go to Soldier Field, but that's September. And so it's still going to be warm outside. I don't know if
It's
the Bears pull off. Go ahead, bro.
it's a tough schedule. But the NFL is, anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday. So, I mean, a lot of those teams are gonna come in thinking that they could just, roll over them, and then the games you're gonna have to punch some teams in the mouth and let them
Yep.
know you're there. As far as Caleb Williams, the quarterback position in Chicago historically has been the question mark every year. So hopefully he could take that, that next step and solidify himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And they the thing is, when you're not expected to do when you're not expected to be one of the premier teams, you can shock a lot of people. So I feel like
That's
they
always
can
been the
have
Bears' motto. They always had a
yeah,
great
they can
year.
have
That's
the
facts,
element of
Don. When
surprise on
we
the
didn't
league.
have expectations, they come out of nowhere, the Bears, generally.
Yeah. So they can shock a lot of teams in the league. And regardless of team success last year, go in there and play everybody you know, don't worry about the name or the record or none of that. Just go in there and play your game. And I feel like they could be able to sneak a couple of them out. As far as like winning the division and all that, I think that might be Detroit. Um, that's
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. But they can shock a lot of people, man. And if the defense shows up historically like it always has, you know, just put yourself in the game and give yourself a chance to win it. That's all that they can ask for. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Yep.
let the game get away, and give yourself a shot at the end.
Right. And so I hope the Bears take advantage of the shots at the end because I know I just said "N" and it sounded like your name, N,
Nah,
but
nah.
in the end, in the end, a lot of games last year was lost because of bad management from the coach, and
Right.
Yeah.
so Jamar bring up a really good competent point. If Ben is competent, the team was knocking on the door a lot last year. You saw we say symptoms, but you saw the signs. You saw the signs of a playoff team last year. You saw signs of a good team last year. It was just not the right coach. But hopefully those signs can turn into some actions this season. And the Bears, like you guys say, can come out and they can definitely shock because Jamar no even don't nobody had the Bears on their radar this year. And so if they were to come out and shock, this would be that year. And so we'll see. Gentlemen, any final thoughts on the Bears before we progress
Yeah, I
to
don't know if y'all
NFL
addressed it
notable
already
games?
on a different episode, but is it official that the Bears are moving out of downtown?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Arlington Heights.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I mean, did you guys already discuss that? You already talked about that?
No, we didn't, but it's a really
No.
good point because Jamar, no, I lived in Arlington Heights, right near that racetrack. I remember Jamar I
Okay.
visited you, bro, and it was a long drive from Arlington Heights to where
Oh,
you live
oh
in
yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
was a
that's
hell
a
of a
good ride.
drive out there in Indiana. I'm like, man, but I got up early and I went out there to visit Jamar, man. And so the racetrack it's a lot of land, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever been to the Arlington racetrack, it's a lot of land. So that's gonna be a big stadium for sure. It's gonna and the way it sounds like it's gonna be a state of the art stadium because it's a lot of land out there and it's a lot of opportunity for sure. So I'm kind of excited to see how that stadium gonna look, y'all, because it's a lot of land out there, definitely to build.
Okay.
Man,
Yeah,
it's like for me personally, it's bittersweet. Like I'm happy they get a new stadium, but if I want to go to a game, just like the hike that you had to come to me, the hike I'm gonna have to go all the
right,
way out there. That's the
right, because
that's the problem.
right, Arlington Heights is a hike, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't 5 minutes down the street. And then you got to deal with that traffic in the loop, right? So we all familiar with Chicago. You got to deal with
Oh,
that traffic in the loop. It's gonna be at least an hour
Oh,
and a half. You got
tollway
to get
too.
yourself right. They got that
yeah.
tollway, and that tollway gonna make a lot of money. iPass gonna be
Oh,
happy as hell. iPass. They're like,
yeah.
yes, we got it approved in Arlington Heights. Yes, yes.
They
Yeah.
already make
Like,
too much damn money.
yeah, you ain't kidding. But no, like for me, I could just hop on the South Shore, be dropped off right at the stadium, and I'm cool. Like
Right.
Yeah.
now, the gas and like maybe a 2 hour commute, maybe, and then if I was to go, it would have to be an all day thing for real. Like I would have to go there,
Yeah.
tailgate, like the whole shebang. Otherwise, it's not gonna be worth my while.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be a hike for sure. You're gonna have to really
Unless it's a playoff
map
game.
out your day. Right.
All right,
But
that's a little different. That's a little different.
right. The one thing I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, though, is this. Arlington Heights was approved, guys, because Arlington Heights is a very nice suburb. I lived there for 3 years. It was gorgeous. But on top of that, a lot of they fans, y'all, live in the northwest suburbs. I don't know if y'all know, but a lot of people tell y'all how money works. They've been complaining. I'm telling you, those people work downtown. They work in the organizations. They saying, hey, man, we have to go from Arlington Heights, from Glendale Heights, from Northbrook, from Northfield, all the way to the Bear Stadium. Think about how many Caucasian fans, and I want to go racial here, think how many Caucasian fans y'all see in those stands, how much money they pay. Now, all they got to do is go to Arlington Heights, y'all.
Right.
They ain't got to go far. Now it's the opposite. Now it's the opposite. And so them being in Arlington Heights is going to really appeal to a lot of their fans who already stay in them clean northwest suburbs. And they ain't got to go through that hike now. They just got to go a few minutes up the street now. You just
Same
want to
thing
bring
happened here
I
in
like
Atlanta. Yeah, same thing happened here with the Braves in Atlanta. They took the Braves from downtown to put them in Cobb County, and
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
yeah, it was basically the
Oh
same
wow.
reason. Yeah.
right. But fellas, y'all ain't never rode past the Brave Stadium in Atlanta. Y'all know it's
Uh,
Oh,
outside of Atlanta.
that old stadium.
the old stadium, yeah, but not the new one now.
The new one's
Mm.
beautiful, but if you see the old one, you'll understand why they move quickly. Like, but they renovated it now. Georgia State bought it, but if you saw it like when they was leaving, you'd have been like, yeah, I see why they got up out of here.
So Georgia State, are they
Mm-hmm.
using it for baseball or?
They using it for football. It's called I think
Oh,
Perk
okay.
Stadium now, Park Stadium, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they use
And
it for okay.
they renovated and converted it to a football stadium. So they made use of it. That
Okay.
was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, for
Right off the
sure. Then
E-way.
yeah, I'll have to tear it down. Yeah, that's cool.
Right.
That's dope.
Yep. And so yeah.
So that's the
And
question.
so
What do they do with Soldier Field now? Because I know that I don't think they
It's a
it's
the
good question.
too
question.
it's a
Man,
landmark and they're not gonna tear it down. So
Right.
man, that's the city's problem now. Let them figure it out.
yeah, what are they gonna do with Soldier Field?
Jabbar
It's
Clean the
said,
really
city on the
interesting,
stadium.
man. It's really interesting because, gentlemen, the Chicago Fire already got a stadium. The Chicago
Yeah.
Fire already got a stadium, right? So with Soldier Field, we hearing now potentially that the White Sox they could be moving to the South Loop.
And I mean, well, this probably would
No,
be
for real, that stadium. I don't know if you know, and I know you probably done. You familiar with Chicago? The South Loop is
yeah,
just
of
right
course, of
outside
course.
of downtown, and
Yeah.
so they now considering moving the White Sox right off Lakeshore Drive, which should be in the South Loop. And so,
Okay.
could Soldier Field be the White Sox stadium? It's just a thought.
could it be? I don't know. This might be kind of far fetched, but they don't have a stadium and they'll have a football team in a couple years. Could it be Chicago State's stadium? Could they play there?
That's an interesting point because Chicago State's about to get a football program.
Yeah, they don't have a team. I mean, it'll kind of, in my opinion, it'll kind of be, it'll kind of big. They would really have to have a real big fan base. I don't know.
Right.
They have to
Chicago
do
State don't got
multiple
a big
things.
fan base for nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I won't
They
say
could
that they not, but they would have to do
they
it'll be used for multiple things.
yeah they gonna have to keep it though, because I mean it's
Because
historic. They can't
Beyonce
tear it
come
down.
there every year, bro. Beyonce come there.
Yeah.
That's one goddamn event that's sold out every year. Beyonce, I know
Yeah.
y'all go through y'all timelines. Every one
They
of
could
y'all.
probably do that, like an event
That's what
thing or
he,
something, like an amphitheater type thing or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, a big,
Yeah.
you know, something like that. But
Right.
yeah, but
Cause,
they're not gonna
'cause-
tear it down though.
No.
You know, that's
I hope not.
yeah,
Right,
they're not.
right, right,
It's
right.
a landmark, and they're not trying to tear it down.
Right. That's gonna be really interesting, man. That's gonna be really interesting to see because I know the White Sox moving too, and so they want to take them off the south side. I don't know why, but whatever. I think it's
I,
because of safety. The
yeah,
people, we're so afraid to go to the south side. It's violent.
I guess if you go around the corner, I guess you'll see why they want to take it out.
I mean, but it's no different than the United Center on the west side. So it's like, what are we
No,
talking
it
about?
ain't. But you know they trying
No,
to.
they done
They
built up
trying to.
around the United Center though,
United Center,
fellas. The
yeah,
United
But
they
Center
trying
kind
to.
of nice.
I
Man,
mean,
it's
but if you
pretty
go,
around there now.
yeah, but if you go 2 or 3 blocks the wrong way, then it's like,
Yeah,
hello.
Jamar's right. Jamar is definitely right for
I mean,
sure.
I'm just
no,
saying,
I was
what's the
saying
difference?
no, Jamar. I would say about 2-3 miles, dog.
Nah, I
No,
think
you're
about two,
right.
three
Because
blocks.
if you go towards Olive Harvey, okay, if you go towards Olive Harvey, that
Toward
way
that way,
might be a
about
little
two,
bit
three, 4
questionable.
blocks down. Yeah, for sure.
Towards Austin, yeah, I can see your
Uh-huh.
point. But if you go right and you go towards Oak Park,
But they
yeah,
redid Olive Harvey in these what I would say in these last
Olive
what 10.
Harvey's nice now. It looks
Yeah,
nice.
Olive Harvey's
It
beautiful
ain't
now.
Olive
Yeah,
Harvey, but I'm talking about Malcolm X, bro. I'm talking about Malcolm
I
X.
mean
I'm talking
Malcolm
about
X. Yeah, Malcolm X. Malcolm
right,
X. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Malcolm
Malcolm
X.
it's
X.
They
beautiful
don't
now.
rebuild. Yeah, they done rebuild Malcolm X, and so it's nice right there. So, anywho, y'all, why we getting ADHD? We got to talk about the NFL notable games. And so with that being said, this is something you could definitely participate in, Don. There was a schedule release with a lot of notable games. And some teams have been scheduled at favorable times. Like every year we have like Thanksgiving games, or we have like Christmas Day games. You know what I'm saying? And with that, it's like you got top games. And so, just an FYI, it's something that was released that I found interesting. The top 10 games of the season. And so, literally, week 9, Kansas City at Buffalo. Actually, let me share the screen. It might be best so you guys can walk with me. And so, all right. And so, Kansas City at Buffalo. That's week 9, fellas. Detroit at Philly. That's going to be a good one. I'm really looking at that one. Week 11. But Kansas City and Buffalo, too. That's going to be fireworks. LA at Baltimore. Philly at Kansas City. That could be an interesting one. Rematch of the Super Bowl. Week 2 to begin the season. Cincinnati at Buffalo. Could be interesting. Hopefully Cincinnati, man, they get off to a good start this year, Don. That's been a damn problem, starting slow. Bears at the Commanders. That's pointed out. And I think the reason why is because of the Hail Mary. And so they literally brought them right back to Washington, which Ian don't like, and I agree with Ian. But, Bears at Commanders. Baltimore, Kansas City. I'd like to see that one, definitely. Baltimore, Kansas City. Denver at Houston. 2 playoff teams. Houston was banged up last year, and I got a question mark for Houston, guys. CJ didn't have a great year last year. We're gonna see how he gonna transcend this year. If that rookie year was just a flop or a fluke, sorry, because he went through definitely a sophomore slump. So we're gonna see.
Bo
Minnesota.
knows.
And then Green Bay. This is interesting, y'all, because if Green Bay play Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers is with Pittsburgh, then that'll be interesting for a good reason too. And so these are some of the notable games to point out. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at some of the games, some of the schedules. But Jamar, I could pick on you really quickly, bro. Is there any game that you maybe have on your radar that you want to see this year?
Yes. I mean,
Thanksgiving game. Who is that playing? Dallas is playing who this year on Thanksgiving? Cincinnati at Dallas. That's the one that pointed I want to see.
I think
And the
Dallas playing
reason why I
Kansas
want to
City.
see that is it Kansas City on okay, yes, right. Because I know it's a Thanksgiving game, and Thanksgiving always. You're right. So Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens for Thanksgiving. I think that should be a good day of football. Packers, Lions,
It
Chiefs,
should be.
Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens. You know, so yeah.
I
So
mean, honestly, I don't. I, I don't know. I have to take a harder look at the schedule. I mean, of course, as a Bears fan, the one on the list, Bears Commanders. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. It's more so revenge type deal. Um, I mean, outside of that, it's like maybe one of the games with Cincinnati involved. Like, I definitely want to see them come off to a better start to the season because us Jamar's got to stick together. Other than that,
mm,
um, um, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's too early. Like, I normally would be more like excited to see the Lions play like the Eagles, but I don't know what to expect from the Lions this year without like all their coaches. Like they're depleted of coaches. Like the last time I seen a team like that depleted of coaches, they didn't look too hot, and that was the Eagles a couple of years ago before they won the Super Bowl. Like, so I don't know. I don't know.
right. And so and really quickly, bro, any thoughts? If you don't have a game, it's all right. We're gonna move on to something else. But
Uh,
any
I
quick
got
notable game?
I got one game. The Super Bowl matchup, of course. I want to see that game, and any Jets game. I'm excited to see what these Jets do with Aaron Glenn and Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I feel you on that.
I can see that. I can feel you. Yeah, definitely. I hope Justin come out and test shit up. I hope he do. I really do.
Yeah.
I hope he come out and test shit up. I really, really do. And so yeah, man. Done,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm gonna just say that that Ravens Chiefs game. I'm gonna look forward to that one.
Hmm.
Pretty much any game Lamar is gonna be in this year. I'm looking forward to seeing him play this year.
He got
That
to get
brother
over
been
the
balling
hump,
out.
Don.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he's been balling out, man. And I
One
hope,
thing. That's the only thing at this point.
yeah, I hope everything fall in line for him. If not this year, soon enough, man. I definitely want to see that brother get a ring and
Yeah,
help solidify that Hall of Fame career, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
for sure, for
dude.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like
so
him and Josh Allen in the same boat. The only difference is Lamar got two of them MVPs compared to his one. I feel like
It
that's the
sh-
only difference at this point.
and it should
Right.
be three.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have won last year.
Yeah, he
He should
should
have
have.
won
Last
last
year
year.
was crazy.
No, he should not have, guys. Y'all know Josh Allen earned the MVP this year. And we was
What?
debating this.
I say Lamar should have had it, but
They was Lamar. Ian and Jamar was Lamar. I think Jamar was Lamar because Jamar, you see the similarity. Lamar. But
It's not the
literally,
same.
Josh Allen, bro, the storyline, the unexpectations that he fulfilled, the roster he had, the stats, the wins. It was the best story, guys. Come on. And if you
I
give it to
mean,
Lamar Jackson, He had Derrick Henry with him. Come on.
I mean, is it the most valuable story or the most valuable player? You know, so
Bingo.
and I know, and that's not. I'm not taking away
But
from Josh Allen at all. Like he balled out too, but I mean the gravity that Lamar has on the field is crazy. Like
but
it's off the
bro,
charts, man.
I think we stuck with highlights for Lamar. I think we stuck with highlights to Jilly. I don't know why that happened. Okay, there we go. But when it comes to literally most valuable player, you cannot sit here and tell me that the most valuable player was not Josh Allen. Who he got on his roster? Where would the Buffalo Bills have been without Josh Allen? Where?
That's fair to say. I mean, I'm not mad that Josh Allen got it. You know, it's just if I would have had a vote, I would have gave it to Lamar. But I can see why, you know, others, you know what I'm saying, I can see why Josh would have votes as well. So I ain't mad at it.
Right. And so, yeah, man. Definitely those two guys got something to prove for sure. And so, Don, bro, just really
Yes,
quickly, we
sir.
got to talk about your Lakers, man.
Oh
Your
man.
Lakers. High
Oof.
five, 55, 25, 95, Lakers in 5. But the Lakers didn't win in 5. It was the Wolves in 5. The Lakers didn't get it done, man. And I was avid on the podcast stating that the Lakers needed a big man, and they got exposed versus Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle.
Yeah.
What do the Lakers need, man, in order to take that next step? Because LeBron is 41 now.
I mean,
Or how do you see the
obviously,
future of the team? Like, what
yeah, we gotta address you know, the height problem. We gotta address, you know, the front court problem. I mean, we made Rudy Gobert look like Shaq out there. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. No slight to Rudy, but I mean, he was too dominant that game. And so, I mean, we lack in size, and you know, teams just drive the ball. They go straight to the cup, and then we already got defensive liabilities on the floor with,
mm-hmm.
you know, whether it's Austin Reeves being a little undersized or Luka being a little slow or Brian being old. You don't have a rim
Right.
protector. It's just a straight line to the basket. And even if you do rotate, then that's where those kickouts come from, and then the three balls killing you. So we got to address that. And I also think they need a traditional point guard, uh, and somebody that's maybe like a Mike Conley or something like that, or some, you know, not necessarily him, but somebody that could bring the ball up the floor besides Luka. I think Luka and Brian bringing it up is too much pressure on them, and it wears them down. I would have somebody else bring it up, and then once it's cross half court, then give it to Luka, let Luka do his thing. But if you see in that series with the Wolves, Jaden McDaniels was all over Luka. Luka couldn't even get up the floor without falling and flopping everywhere. So I would get a traditional point guard to help out with, you know, getting everybody else involved. Then I will also address the center position for sure. I mean, you had guys at home on the couch that you could have brought in. I mean, they you know, they didn't need a
Right.
superstar or an all-star. They just needed somebody serviceable.
Right. Very interesting. And so, yeah, man, we hoping the best for your Lakers, bro, because they are in a very interesting situation. You got one of the best players in the world. You got one of the greatest players of all time, but you definitely have some missing pieces. You got Austin Reeves there. He is a very reliable scorer. You got some solid bench guys with Rui Hachimura and man, Vanderbilt. It's a number of guys that fill in. The guy that always hit the corner threes, I forgot his name. You got a Gabe Vincent. I don't know what they're gonna do. Gabe Vincent probably leave, but you got some good pieces in LA. And shout out to JJ Redick on a great first year. He went from ESPN first
Oh
take,
yeah,
Won 50 games.
ESPN first take, right, to winning 50
yeah.
games. And so not bad at all, man. And so just want to quickly pivot, guys, before we get into Ian's basement. If Ian got anything for us, just want to talk about the Chicago Sky. And we support heavily done women's basketball.
I do too.
Gentlemen, Wonderful. And so WNBA picks. We got to give our WNBA picks, guys. I know it's early in the season, but if we had to pick the top 2 teams or teams that we think can make the WNBA finals, who would those teams be? And so you got the Aces. You got Caitlin Clark in the Fever, man, who, man, that girl Cole. The Chicago Sky look terrible. They look awful. We look like we missed Kennedy Carter bad. I mean, Angel Reese looked like she degressed. Camila Cardosa ain't did nothing since she came in the league. She don't do nothing. The head coach look incompetent for this. I don't even want to talk about this guy. Anywho, the Atlanta Dream has they've gotten better. No, seriously, guys, the Chicago Sky front offices, they are totally incompetent, Jamar. Like the moves they made, the trades they made, bro. It makes sense why they're here right now, literally. On the other hand, who else we got, y'all, that's good in WNBA? The New York Liberty, they won a championship last year. The Minnesota Lynx, they got they got the best. I think she's the best all-around player. And you know, Nafisa Collier is the Kawhi Leonard of the WNBA. She would take your cookies and kill you on offensive end. She a grown woman for sure. Connecticut Sun. It's a lot of teams. So just quickly off the top of your head, Jamar, Ian, Don. We can start with you, Don. Give me 2 teams, man, or what you're looking forward to in this WNBA season. You got any picks, anything?
I'm gonna go Lynx Fever. It's easy for me. I'm going Lynx Fever. The Fever looking good. They also brung in Bonner. So that I think they brought in
Bonner.
Yeah, and
they
kept
brought in
Boston.
the girl Stephanie. They brought in Stephanie from who is that? Phoenix Mercury. She a championship player. They brought in both. What is it? Her name started with a B, but she played with Las Vegas and won some championships with them. They got a nice team for Indiana, dog. And Caitlin Clark got a wave. Like she got vets and good players coming in to be them pieces for her, you know.
Right. Yeah, I seen Caitlin play when she came here to play the Dream, and I recommend anybody go see her play, man. You definitely gonna be entertained.
Yeah. Jamar, bro, you got any teams, anything from WNBA, any picks, anything?
So I would love to see the Fever in there this year. I would love to. I mean, heck, her first game coming out with a triple-double, she's trying to put the league on notice this year. But for me, my picks at the moment is probably the Lynx and the Aces. I think those 2 at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. A'ja Wilson reigning WNBA MVP. 3-time champion now? 3-time champion?
2, right?
2.
They lost last
2-time champion. No, it was the Lynx and the Liberty in the finals last year.
No, I'm just saying
she did. Oh, right. Yeah, they lost in the 5-game classic to the Liberty. That was a great series. So who you got for any thoughts, any picks, anything again from the WNBA?
Everybody knows my pick. I pick them every year.
Okay, the Aces.
Y'all know that's my girl, man. I gotta get a pair of her shoes too, man.
Her shoes are nice.
Hey, they fire.
Yeah, I seen it, man. I saw that commercial, y'all. That commercial dope as hell they got for A'ja Wilson. That's a dope commercial. Really. And so
the Fever are coming along though. I will say that they're coming along, man. And Caitlin, they're gonna be a problem for sure. They're definitely gonna be a
tough out.
Yeah.
Right. They're gonna be a tough out. But I think guys, for me, shout out to the Valkyries, by the way, y'all. Y'all know Golden State got a team now. They looking like
I hate the name.
Yeah, I don't get it. The Valkyries.
I guess the female version of a warrior, I suppose.
Oh, is that what it?
Right. Because I didn't even know.
It doesn't roll off the tongue good. I'll tell you that much.
It don't. All I see is a sword, but that makes sense, Jamar. That make a lot of sense. A female version of a warrior. Exactly. That's probably
Okay.
why they named them the Valkyries. And so Valkyrie must be a female warrior name. Maybe we got to Google that. But yeah. So shout out to them. But guys, links. Fev, I think, is there, but if you ask me in a 7-game series, if they beat, or sorry, a 5-game series, I don't think they beat the Liberty. And so for me, guys, I got the Lynx and the Liberty as being the top 2 teams on our radar, with the Fever knocking on the door. And then as far as another team, the Aces knocking on the door. And then outside of those top 2 teams that's knocking on the door, I don't know if people really, really up, but Connecticut Sun is always a tough team too. I mean, guys, they've been in the WNBA finals. They've been in the conference finals for what, the last 4 or 5 years, I think. And so they're a good team, low key, Connecticut. They don't have a lot of big names, but they right there. But I say that because they lost their head coach, Stephanie White. She went to be with Caitlin Clark, y'all. Crazy, right? She left Connecticut to go be the head coach for Caitlin Clark. So I can definitely see why the Fever is on people's radar, because she left Connecticut to go to be with Caitlin Clark. So it's obviously a big wave there, but I still like the franchise. It's one of the best franchises in the WNBA.
I like Atlanta. They got Griner, right?
Oh yeah. She was a grown woman the other night, man.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's very underrated.
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna see what happens with the WNBA. The last question I got, guys, is we the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Is it too early? Is it too early to state that the Chicago Sky organization have made some terrible mistakes recently? Because they let go of Kennedy Carter, they traded away who is that? Aubrey Mabry to the Connecticut Sun. She went to Connecticut Sun. She scored all their points last year. It was between her and Kennedy Carter, and they let her go. They had let Candace Parker go randomly after she led them to a championship and then the WNBA conference finals, in which we was up game 4. We supposed to win 2 years in a row for the championship, if you guys remember, not too long ago. So right now things ain't looking so hot for the Sky, bro. So at least Jamar mentioned your Atlanta dream, bro. Perhaps Atlanta, they might do something special. And so, anywho, and bro, you got a conversation for us? Anything, bro? We all can participate, talk about something. Ian's basement. Got anything for us this morning?
Where are the Bulls headed? We were this close to getting.
Where are they headed?
Yeah. We were this close to getting the number.
I know where they're headed.
We could have got Cooper Flag.
Bro, why y'all gotta ruin my mood? I was in a good mood. No.
Where we headed, man? Where we headed? Cause they kind of embarrassing, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Purgatory. That's where we go. Dude. Dog. And you know how I feel about Cooper Flag. You know how I feel. Who would have thought that shot, the best shot in the regular season this year, doing this for Cooper Flag?
Right. That's crazy.
Wild.
That's crazy. Against the Lakers. Against the Lakers, bro. That is crazy.
I know where the Bulls are headed. They ass is heading for their ship heading for a collision course. They literally gonna crash into land. Y'all know how a ship go off water and crash on land and it rarely happens? That's the damn Bulls organization. Like, they literally are almost incompetent as one of the most incompetent franchises. And Jamar has been stating that he's not a fan of the Reinsdorf since we started the podcast. And so that means likely, Jamar, you haven't been a fan of him for years. And so from the looks of things, it looks like he hasn't given up that seat because it's obviously very profitable. And so I don't know where the Bulls are headed. I just don't think it's headed towards a good place. I think it's headed towards some type of damn crash course. I know that.
No.
It's ugly right now. Tell you that much.
Very.
Yeah, I think
Very.
that it can't get right now.
Dude, with like no um it's like with no like light at the end of the tunnel right now. That's what it feels like. You just in darkness because there's no like real leadership, no sense of direction. You have maybe two and a half nice pieces on this team. Everybody else can really, actually, all of them can get the out on for the right player. I mean, like the draft pick ain't high enough to make an impact. I mean, the draft is a little deeper this year than it was last year, but still, like,
Man, every time
and
I
then
think Kobe White about to take that next step, he lets you know what I'm saying. He falls
yeah,
off a cliff almost. Like
Yeah, he is what he is. I
it's.
mean, he
I mean,
he took a step from where he was when he first got in the league,
yeah,
but and it's like we waiting for him to get to that, I would say, all-star, status.
and, and
So
he's
right,
he
knocking
right
on the
there.
door.
Yeah,
right.
but
But it just seems like he
he
ain't
ain't open it. He ain't
right.
opening the
Every time you
door.
think he's right there, it's just like you know,
hmm
I don't know what happened.
And
Mm,
it's so frustrating.
yeah.
Like White's been he's been a joy to watch for the most part. The rookie Montez Gazelle, he's been fun to watch a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Giddy the second half of the year has been a lot better, but I mean he can get traded for somebody of caliber. I mean it starts with the ownership. It
I
really
get
do because
we
they
had
don't
our
care.
dynasty. I guess we paying for it. We got them 6 championships, and I guess it's time to go back to we experiencing the bullshit. I guess before
Right.
they got to the 6 championships now. So
Right.
maybe our
But
kids go see them have a dynasty
What the cocaine bulls?
right? I think we going back to
the
that. I
cocaine
think we
bulls
going
before
back to that
Jordan.
era.
Hell yeah. We learned about that on the last dance. And so,
Uh,
like,
Do
one thing I just want to bring up, though, fellas, and it really quickly, Don.
go ahead.
Jamar, you mentioned for years that the boys have been in the middle of the pack, and it sucks to be in the middle of the pack.
they're
So
not
they
even in the
even
middle of the
said it
pack
on
right now.
ESPN. Like they are a team that oftentimes are not too, but they always in a play in, is my point, Ian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe talent wise, they not at the middle of the pack. But due to them being in the Eastern Conference, they always a play-in team that knock on the door of the first round playoffs, and that's about the best they gonna do. And
And
that
get
ain't
kicked
that's
and get
right in the
kicked
middle of the
out,
pack,
kicked off the
somewhere in that
porch.
middle of the
They
pack.
be at the door, get kicked off the porch.
And
Right.
what makes this and indirectly, like let's just say the Pacers win it all. Indirectly, this affects the Bulls bad because all the Pacers did was retool. They didn't really tear it down. They were stuck in the middle of the pack too for a while. They just sprinkled a move here and there, and now just theoretically they win the
Boom.
championship. Now the Bulls are like, oh, okay, we can just continue to do the same thing. Like
Yeah, even
I
go to the
guarantee
finals.
that's out of mindset.
Mm.
Like they don't care. They really don't care. They as long as the Bulls lead the league in attendance, nothing's gonna change.
But
I said the
Jamar, I
same
mean, let
thing
me
about
ask
the
you this,
Bears.
Jamar. Right, but let me ask y'all this, fellas. Do the Bulls need to tank in order to finally get over the hump eventually? Do they need to just tear it down? Because you said that, Jamar. You say that
Nah,
they need to tear it down.
yeah, but I mean,
And
tanking in the
it'll
NBA
suck. It's
don't
gonna
guarantee it
suck.
don't tanking in the NBA don't guarantee you a #1 pick,
Yeah,
as
we
we just
learned that
seen.
now. We
Yeah,
just
seen
saw what the
that this
Dallas
year.
I
Mavericks
mean,
right.
it never do. So I mean, I don't know, man.
Um,
It's like
they
Jamar stated. It's no light at the tunnel. I mean, nobody wants to. I mean, it's a great city. As Chicago's a great city, but it's just seemed like they don't have no
what
sense of direction, and no
It's
superstar,
weird to
nobody gonna
me.
want to play here.
It's weird to
Mm,
me how Chicago gets treated like a small market almost.
Yeah,
mm.
You
that's the
know
part.
because no sense of direction.
that's weird to me. Like they should be in the running every year for the premier free agents and all that. And it's like
Right.
And it never is. Um,
yeah,
no, in all seriousness, like for one, they need to acquire a lot of draft capital. Like basically do what the Thunder did,
Okay, see,
or
yeah,
Yeah, like go get a bunch of draft picks, blow the roster up. Um, I mean, you may not be
Hopefully,
guaranteed the number one pick, but you get a lot of high end talent. I mean, Detroit the same way. Look at Detroit now. They built through the drafts. They
Yep.
That's how
they
Boston
lucked
got
up
where
in
they
the
at.
K.
yeah.
They lucked in Cade Cunningham, like you said with Boston, with back to back years of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They built around that. They got the picks from Brooklyn, so it's like go get a bunch of picks, blow the like, and you just gotta get lucky. But the thing is, when you have a GM that don't know what to do, but he don't want to tank, but he don't want to like spend money either. It's like, and you got a
We're
coach
gonna be in the same position.
that's yeah, like, and as good as Donovan's may have been at some point. I mean, I feel like he don't even fit this team either. But he's, he got a contract. He's not going anywhere. I mean, he's going to try to get the most out of his players, but it's like that doesn't fit what the Bulls need to do. So it's a bunch
Yeah.
of unfit pieces, like putting a square in a round hole. Like it doesn't fit. It doesn't mesh. There's lack of leadership. Once again, goes back to the owner, and once again, it goes back to the people that keep supporting the team.
And
And
that's us
yep, no
with
change is
the
gonna be
Right.
made.
with the clown face. Yeah. I said the same thing about the
Mm.
Bears.
Pretty much.
Just
Oh,
it's
and
just
then
a
last
Chicago
thing,
thing.
the very last thing, they have the audacity to, if you ain't got an antenna, you got to pay $20 a month to go watch these things too. You got the audacity.
Right.
I ain't watched a single Bulls game the whole year. You think I'm about to go pay for that?
You ain't the only one. I haven't either, bro. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's pointless. It's a recurring cycle. They play like dog shit, and then they have this one stint like after All Star break. I don't know what clicks, and they just start playing good, and then they get to the play in, and then they get their ass whooped. So it's just
Same
like,
thing every
To
year.
Miami.
yeah,
To Miami.
yeah, to Miami. It's like the same team. And no matter how many players Miami lose, get hurt, don't play, they still get their ass whooped. It's just like I didn't even watch the game this year. I'm like, I ain't
Three
watching that
years in a
game.
Dude,
row.
they made
And I
Tyler
looked
Hero
up,
look
they
like
was losing
Kyrie
by
Irving in
20.
that game.
Man, dude, he was like Steph Curry. I'm like, come on, bro.
Dude, look like an all NBA in that
They played at home
game.
this year, right? They played at home this year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
goddamn.
we was
Yeah,
in
yeah, they played at home
Chicago.
this year. Yeah, this was in Chicago this
Got
time. Normally it's in Miami.
whooped.
Yeah, this year. I'm like, so I it's disappointing. It is. It's very disappointing, but I guess we just, we had the Derrick Rose era, we had, the Michael Jordan dynasty era, and I guess we just, I don't know, I guess this is our time to just go through it. I don't know what we, I don't know what, I don't know where this is going, bro. I don't know who gonna save
Right.
us. It ain't no,
Mm.
it ain't no Kobe Bryant, no Michael Jordan, no LeBron James on the
Right.
way, bro. I don't know what's gonna
Right.
happen.
It's just a really quick question, and this is for Don, I guess. And I asked that really quickly, Don, because your Atlanta Hawks, bro, are in the same boat as us. Middle of the pack, great playing Trey Young. You got the most improved player in Dyson Daniels. So at least there's some positivity in Atlanta with the Hawks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you feel like the Hawks need to do being down there watching them every time? What do they need to do to get back to the conference finals like they was a few years back?
Yeah, they was in the conference final. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they got
I can't hear him.
We can't hear you.
not
Uh,
sure he's actually leading the team.
Don, we can't hear you like that, bro. Your volume going in and out.
Can you hear me?
Oh, he don't hear us either.
Oh.
Not really. That sound better. Go ahead, we listening, bro.
Yeah, that's a little
I mean,
better.
it's better. Yeah, it's a little better.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear me?
You got any headphones connected? Maybe you got some headphones connected. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, we can
it's
hear you. We
low.
can
We can
rock
hear
with you.
you. Yeah.
We can rock with you.
But yeah, basically, I think they got to get some more pieces. They got to get another score. They got rid of Murray, then they got rid of Hunter. I mean, they got the rookie, Ricochet, whatever, Zachariah, whatever. He's playing pretty good.
Hmm.
Six seed,
Still,
seed at best, seventh at best. I'm like, I don't expect the Hawks to do too much this year. And I actually think Trey might be on his way out of here.
I
mm,
think so
Okay.
too.
And don't be surprised if when it's all said and done in Minnesota, if Ant come back home to the Hawks. Heard it here first. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I think he's Georgia bred. I think he was the number one player in high school and he still chose to go to Georgia. He could have went
Yeah.
anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's big for him. And you to put that out there and you heard it here first that I think Ant might be coming.
Mm.
ooh,
Wow. Right.
That's
ooh,
interesting to see what happened
That's
in Minnesota.
very
Yeah.
interesting. That's
ooh.
very interesting. That's very interesting for sure. Especially, I mean, if Trey Young's still there, that'd be very interesting.
Yeah,
And
and,
so,
and, and personality would fit here in Atlanta perfect. I mean, he's from here, obviously, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was the culture of the Hawks in the city and all that. I mean, it'd be something to really like get
Yeah.
behind. I think it'll be
Yeah.
great for him.
The city will be turned. I know they already be turned, but that'll take them to that next level as far as
oh
basketball
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, everybody out.
show.
Yeah,
It
everybody.
would
Yeah,
it would
everybody there.
feel like
And I see everybody
it
there
would,
anyway.
bruh. It would feel like Vic would be back in that city. It
Yeah,
would just get that
something similar
electric
for sure.
energy, like for
It'd be
real.
great.
Mm.
Yeah, with his brand, the shoes, the aura, him being from Atlanta. Yeah, it would. It definitely. It would. It would. That's a good analogy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Man. And so, man, that's dope, man. And so, um, Don, thanks for that, bro. We got that on our radar now. For real. We heard it first. We heard it first for real, man. Like for real, bro. That'd be epic. And so I was just watching last night his pod, he got a show, y'all, on Netflix, and he got a Atlanta inspired hat. He had the Braves, and then he had some like little thing put in the middle, but it was inspired by the Atlanta Braves. And so he definitely enjoyed the
It was
bread.
his logo. It was his logo, and
Okay,
they made it the same
Mm.
color as the Braves hat because he always got a Braves hat.
exactly.
But in his post game interviews, he always got a Braves hat on.
Uh-huh. Right.
So I guess Adidas
Exactly.
they just with they had a little thing with New Era, and they just made it the Braves color, but it was his logo. It was dope. It was dope.
Oh, that
Right.
is dope.
Exactly. That is, man. So, man, bro. And so we at this point, fellas, where it's final thoughts and shout outs. And so, Don, man, you our guest. We always give this to our guest first. Um, any final thoughts or shout outs, man, as we head into the weekend?
Man, I just want to thank you, brothers, for having me, man. I appreciate y'all opening up the platform. I appreciate coming on and sharing my thoughts and stuff like that. I just want to shout out my uncle Leroy Gibson, huge Cubs fan, huge Bulls fan. And 2 days ago was his birthday, so I just want to say I love you, Unc. Happy birthday. And I just want to say I appreciate y'all again, man. Anytime y'all have me, I'll be back.
Man, appreciate you, bro.
Sure.
Yes, sir. And yes, happy birthday, Uncle Leroy. Happy birthday, man. Turn
Happy
up, turn
birthday.
up.
Happy
Yes,
birthday.
sir. Happy birthday to Young, man. Absolutely, bro. And so, Jamar, any final thoughts, shout outs, bro, as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, first and foremost, shout out to Don for joining us, bro. Definitely good seeing your face again. I know it's been a long time, but definitely glad for you to stop by. But definitely, and I mean this, please come back another time. Come join us again, bro. Second, like, look, I mean, we pretty much Memorial Day weekend. Everybody definitely enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the sports that we have here too. I mean, basketball. I kid you not, the NBA has been a breath of fresh air. in these playoffs, the good basketball, the young faces. Like, I get it. Like, LeBron, Steph, KD, they're not in it now, but it's just, I feel like the NBA is going to be fine when they leave, just based on what we're seeing right now. And so embrace it. Like, embrace these new young stars. Like, I'm glad to see Shea in the national forefront now. Glad to see Ant-Man, back again to the conference finals. Glad to see Halliburton out here hooping after being called the most overrated player by his peers. Like, Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, like, they're like, it's just appreciated. So yeah, that's what I got, man. You all enjoy y'all weekends.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. And bro, any final thoughts, shout outs we head into the weekend?
Man, shout out to us. Shout out to Don for coming on, man. Great convo. Man, come back anytime, bro. Great convo today. Man, yeah, shout out to us, man. This was a good one. This was a good one. Like Jamar stated, great basketball. Um, it's kind of giving you that feeling back again. Like when we were coming up in them early 2090.
Yes.
I can't speak for the regular season. The regular season, I don't really too much. I don't really. I might watch a game here, here and there, but in the playoffs, I can definitely say it give you that feeling again. So, man, yeah, shout out to this great basketball we experienced, and hopefully we get some great games this weekend as well, starting tonight. Yeah, man, everybody be safe. Enjoy the holiday weekend. Be safe. Enjoy the time with your family, man.
Yes. And to piggyback on what Ian stated, enjoy time with your families. Guys, enjoy Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. We know it's a lot of things that be happening out in the streets, etc. So be very safe on that end. Additionally, Don, thanks, bro. We appreciate you for having us, man. We appreciate you for joining us. It's a pleasure. Been trying to get you on for a minute, man, and got you on, and we had a great conversation. And so appreciate you, man. Definitely look forward to keeping the connection. And as Jamar stated, you are welcome back for sure. And so everybody, enjoy sports, enjoy NBA playoffs, enjoy all that's being played, all the wonderful sports. Congrats to Northwestern, by the way, on making the national championship. And so with that being said, we just want to state to the world and to all of you, as always, on behalf of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we would like to say thank you for tuning in with us this morning. Continue to chop it up with us and support our podcast on various platforms. And if you are and would love to talk sports with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we are here and would love to do so with you. Your love and support is truly appreciated, and we hope you all have a blessed and safe weekend. Peace.
Peace.